Have you ever started a new position and completely thought, how the hell did I get here? And why do these people think that I know what I'm doing? Did you know that that's called imposter syndrome? Basically what that means is that you feel like you're a fraud, or that I don't deserve this, or I tricked them. I tricked them. How did I trick all these people into thinking that I deserve this? So as a person living and breathing with this, I never think that I'm good enough to be in the positions that I am. I never think that I'm good enough to have the things that I do. And I work really hard to overcome that. So I wanted to share today the things that I do to make sure that I don't self-sabotage, to make sure that I don't get in my own way, and then I'm capable of hearing you did a good job and actually being proud of myself instead of saying, no, I didn't. Perfection doesn't exist. Physically, emotionally, professionally, there is no such thing as perfection. Look at the most beautiful people in the world on all of these magazines, on Instagram, wherever. 9 times out of 10, those are photoshopped. And they'll even tell you these are edited images because it doesn't exist. So if you are looking at everything that you're doing and criticizing, well, I made that little mistake. I didn't get that done fast enough. I wasn't perfect on this, or look at the typo that I made on that. I'm not perfect, and that's why I don't deserve to be here. What you should be striving for is to do better today than you did yesterday, to do better on the next task than you did on this one. If you make incremental improvements, even if they're tiny and no one else sees them but you, that is excellence. That is working towards excellence. That's working at being the best you that you can be. I would also recommend that you have a mentor. That mentor could be a teacher that you used to have that you really appreciated, a friend, a family member. And the reason for that is because they can kind of be a little bit of a mirror for you. You have to be honest with them. You have to be willing to tell them, hey, I'm feeling insecure about this thing. I'm not really feeling that confident about this presentation I'm about to give. Can you look at it? Or afterwards, how do you think I did on that? So I'll give a perfect example that just happened with me recently. I was really, really nervous about all of these meetings that I was hosting. It was the first time I was hosting these types of meetings about this particular topic. I had a little self-doubt. Like, why did they think that I can handle this? Why did they think that I'm so smart? Why do they think that I understand statistics? Why do they think that I understand all of these things? And the reality of it was, and this is a conversation that I had with my mentor, the reality of it was they thought those things because I had proven that I knew it. I had proven that I understood it. I had proven that I could speak in an educated way about this information, that I could teach and inspire and lead and develop because I had done it. I had just done it on a smaller scale. She said that to me and I looked at her. If she's watching this, she's laughing. And I looked at her and said, you're right. I've done this before. Yeah, I've done this before. It just wasn't 50 people, it was 2. And that went well. I was able to influence really positive change because I'm passionate about this. I love this. This is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. What the heck am I doing? Now, I was still nervous before every meeting, every single one. I still had to pace around my house a little bit before every meeting. I was still nervous, but every time I had that little self-doubt creep up, I remembered her telling me, you've done this before. Even if you had not done this before, you're capable of researching, and probably overly researching, and learning about it so that you do have an educated opinion on what you're about to talk about. And your company would not put you in a position like that to fail. I needed to remember what I had achieved because I was forgetting it, because I was so stuck in my imposter syndrome. I would pass up opportunities to do things. Being part of projects, I would pass up a lot of things because I believed I didn't deserve to be there. And this project that I just got done talking about, I didn't pass it up. I didn't even think of passing it up. I said yes to doing it even though I was insecure because I knew that I would work through it, because I have been working on this so much with the therapist that I have and my mentor. I've been talking about this so much that I'm not going to get in my own way anymore. But it takes a lot of self-reflection, and it takes a lot of, okay, I'm not going to let me being scared stop me from going forward. And more so, I'm going to share this with people as I go so that they know, which is the next point, that they're not alone. There's not a single person on the planet, not a single one that has achieved something great, that didn't make a mistake along the way, that didn't fail at something, that didn't have a moment of self-doubt. Should I quit? Should I change? Should I do something different? Should I have said that thing in that meeting? Should I have not spoken at all? So understanding that you're not alone is very important. What that actually means for you is, let's say you can't have a therapist right now. Let's say you can't have a mentor right now. You don't have a colleague that you can talk to right now for whatever reason. Understanding that you're not alone means that there's a million people like me on the internet right now putting out videos, templates, things that you can do to overcome this, ways that you can connect with people like me that are overcoming this. Me knowing that I have kind of a safety net did a lot of good for me as I was becoming more secure in what I was doing. Knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you have a support system is so important, and you now have one if you don't have anybody today. I have a board on my wall that is all of the projects that I have going on, what I have to do next. It also has the things that I've already done, in this case for this year. What that does for me, one, I'm able to track the things that I am accomplishing. You would be surprised how much you accomplish throughout the day. I just either cross them out or put a little check mark like, yep, I got that thing done, and I let it stay there as I add the next things that I have to do so that I don't forget I have accomplished a lot, I have done a lot, so that when I do have those moments of self-doubt, like I'm not supposed to be here, I can look at that and say, look at all the things that you've done, all of the little projects, the little emails, the little trainings, the templates that I've sent out, the meetings that I've done. I have kept them on that board as a checklist of things that I have gotten done. And that little moment of self-doubt, especially on the days that I'm like, I don't know that I did anything, that board is there to remind me. Even if it's not 20 things a day, even if it was just one thing a day, keep track and be prideful of them, even if they're small. So the last bit, and of course we have to talk psychology. Always talk psychology. Be kind to yourself. Are you worried that you're not good enough for the job because you're just being humble? You want to earn it and you want to do a good job, or is it a genuine fear? Either feeling is okay. Embrace both of those feelings. If it's every type of feeling and it changes throughout the day, that's okay too, because you are a person, you are a human. It's okay to have self-doubt. It's okay to be afraid. We go through cycles. Imposter syndrome is not something that I believe people 100% get rid of, but you can manage it. With every video, I always end that it's about you, and it is. All of this is about you. You have to be willing to look at yourself. You have to be willing to look at your environment and make sure that you didn't put yourself in a position where you're not moving forward. All of these things take work, and there's no end to it. So again, there's no perfection. The better you are at recognizing when you're having those feelings, the better you are at reaching out when you need that assistance, the better you are at acknowledging the things that you did get done, even if it wasn't everything that you wanted, the better you will feel about yourself.